Hi, Amanda.
Hello, Dougie.
Now, it's a long time since we've been sort of together on the wireless chatting.
It has been.
How's your serendipity experience been over the past however long it's been? It's been ages.
Do you know, I know exactly when it was because it would have been before the whole lockdown business, and it was January and February, and it was all Storm Gloria was the big thing back then.
God, yeah. And we were talking about after Christmas and New Year, getting back to feeling good and all that.
Well,
and
Wellness Wednesday.
And then along comes a blinking great big virus.
Yeah, and so it has been a long time. But yeah, I'm really well.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
Good. Keep them coming. Yeah, we like that. But yeah, no, really good. Been lots going on. Obviously, working in the world of mental health and working in the world of coaching, and it's been a lot going on in the world, right? But I'd love to share with you and any of the listeners. Things that I've really seen deeper over this sort of last 15 months, I guess, is it? Or something that sort of time. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. But good to see you too.
Yeah. So you've been pretty busy, even though it's been sort of locked down and.
Yeah. Well, everything changed for me. I'd made a decision actually when I came in here last time. I was still working at the treatment centre.
That's right.
Yeah. So that a local treatment centre, rehab centre, and I had taken a decision to leave there and put everything that I learned about how our psychological system works, habits, addictions, recovery, sort of wrap up all my experience. And I had a passion, I suppose, for going and sharing it with our youth. So we launched something called iHeart in Spain, which is a program delivering it to young people between the age of 9 up to sort of early 20s. Really,
I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
So we're really excited. Got the local international schools excited, and we were about to launch on our first pilot in XIC, March the 17th, I think it was, and was it March 14th we went into lockdown?
Absolutely, yeah. 13th, I think it was. Yeah.
13th. So
Friday the 13th.
That's it. It was Friday the 13th, I think, and I think it was that sort of. So anyway, that was that all went. Up the Swanee, is that what you say?
As they say, that's the polite way of.
So that all happened, and we did run that pilot, and that was great. And we are running another one in the secondary school, and we did some workshops online with Lady Elizabeth School. So but it hasn't been easy because, well, it's so interesting. So most of my work's been online. So I'm very lucky because I have international clients mainly. So that's sort of been okay, but my plans and dreams for 2020 and 2021, like everybody else's, just kind of didn't really happen. And at the same time, it felt like a really important time to be sharing what it is that I talk about, which is our thinking and feeling system, and how we've got everything we need inside of us, and we've got this innate resilience and this inner strength, and we've got everything we need, to believe it or believe it not, to deal with whatever life throws up, including pandemics. But and then so it's always great talking about that stuff, isn't it? It's like telling somebody that doesn't feel very good that it's going to be okay, and it's going to be right. Well, when we're in the midst of something, we don't really see what it's going to look like on the other end. So if somebody's in the midst of their kind of stress, anxiety, panic, worry, overwhelm, sometimes it's not the most helpful thing to say to somebody, like, well, it's all right though, isn't it? Everything's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Yeah. I mean, we know it is. Yeah. And we know that when they have some sort of a mind shift and everything, that their mind will work in a different way and respond, or let's say as opposed to react or overreact. But all of that sort of stuff. So we did a lot of, in the very beginning, all the coaches I know, psychologists, psychiatrists, people that work within my community, everyone just came up and created webinars and free things and created Zoom 24/7 Zoom rooms. So it was, it was great what happened. So it was amazing. So yeah, I was kept busy, obviously, and productive, not just busy, productive. But yeah, I've had my own share of the feelings which have arisen within my psychological system, which have gone from excitement to feeling a bit low and lonely some days, and then seeing something different. So yeah, well, we'll talk about that.
Cool. What we're going to do right now is, because this bit of the day we call Bay Selector, where people can ask for whatever songs they want.
Good for them.
And I've got one here. And who's this one for? Let me just check. Let me just have a quick check on the WhatsApps. We have got Carl, who's painting in Villotel. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know where that is, to be honest.
Hello, Carl, anyway. Hello, Carl.
Once Gomez whipping Piccadilly. Oh, yeah, that's one we don't normally play, but I'm all about digging stuff out, having a dig around in the crates.
Have you got that one then?
Yeah, I've got that one. Well, I have now. I had a good dig for it, and here it is. Here we go then.
Once upon a time, not too long ago, we took a day out in Manchester. We all fall down, there's not enough hours in a day. Played a bit of football, fell into the Union, barged our way to the toilet. With the Kung Fu King, there's not enough hours in a day.
Here with Amanda from the Serendipity Experience for a revisit to Wellness Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've done a few wellness things in recent times, but it's never the same without you here.
Oh, I liked it. No, and I was looking. There's a new doctor that's in town that's been coming on the shows, and talking about the oil and the CBD oil and stuff. So no, that's very, very interesting. And I think, whatever it is that we hear. So we can come on radios and write books, and I don't know, do courses and run programs and everything, and we can share what we see is helpful for us, what we see is helpful for other people. But for me, when people really get a sense, really get a feel of what we're pointing to, is when they hear something for themselves, like they have an insight about something they're listening to, and that's what I love about radio. You just don't know who's listening.
True.
So you're not trying to manipulate any kind of conversation.
Oh no, we wouldn't dream of doing such a thing.
But you really don't know, and you don't know who's just popped in the car, or who's just had a situation or circumstance occur where they've got a bit of thinking going on about it, and that's the kind of the serendipityness of life, isn't it? We just hear something at the right time that is as if it was meant for us. All right. So I love talking about all that stuff. But there has been a lot going on, and yesterday was a big day. It was a big day for me, Dougie, because we had 8 years ago I lost my youngest cousin, only age 21.
Wow.
Yeah, to cancer. So it was very sad. Lovely young healthy girl, 20 years old, been travelling, and suddenly she had a pain in her hip, and before we know it, she had like a stage 4, tumour, and it all happened within a few months. A big time for our family. I'm the eldest granddaughter. She's the youngest granddaughter. And I had the honour of being with her when she passed, and it was a real honour for me. So it's always a big day. And normally we would have, we created a kind of family reunion. She lived in Ireland, so we'd go over there. And of course that didn't happen last year. It hasn't happened this year. Yeah. But next year, So obviously there's a lot going on, with our changes in the last sort of year or so. But still, you forget the things where normally the families would come together for things like the sort of anniversaries and all of that sort of stuff. So yesterday I was just reflecting, and there's been a lot going on, big things going on for some clients of mine, big things going on in the community, big things going on in the world. But something popped up last night. I don't know, I was on a social media or something that I was that made my heart sing, and that was that Bob Marley had his 40th anniversary passing day was yesterday, May
Yeah.
the 11th, and I didn't know that. Like that's the first time that I realised. Oh, they share this sort of. My cousin was called Alicia. She was a musician, so she was a beautiful musician. So yeah, that was sort of like I love that within this sort of what might look to be like a framework of sadness and whatever. Actually, there's joy sits alongside it, and so does peace, and so does And so recently, we've done a new retreat, sort of an online retreat called Lost for Words, and pointing people to like, do we, is it possible to see peace, joy, gratitude in the same framework as loss and grief? As that they've been really interesting, because we can. They sit. There's a different experience, but they sort of sit side by side. They hold each other. They're holding hands. So there's been some quite sort of interesting, ideas, retreats, just the way the business has led, just because what's going on. And so something occurred to me recently, and I found myself saying this a few times, which was, I don't know that we need more experts and we need more gurus and we need more this and more that. I think we just need each other. Right, and that's that sort of community. I really would love to create this kind of like serendipity kind of gatherings, which is we work better together. So a big sort of reach out to the community. And I had plans to do that when I left the treatment centre last year. It didn't happen. So now that we're all opened up again, then that's what I'm going to be doing. So there will be, I like to sponsor places. So whatever retreat I'm doing, whatever course I'm doing, I kind of like to sponsor a place, which means we can offer it out. So money's not the reason why somebody sort of can't come, because I've got some, another very generous friend that often sponsors a place on things that I do, which is cool. Right, it's really cool. So that's exciting. But my good friend and good friend of yours too, Neve O'Sheehan. Yeah, the lovely Neve. We had a chat and we did. She came on the Serendipity Storytime on the YouTube channel, and she's passionate about walking. And Neve's got a very exciting, story about the big Camino de Santiago she did. I know.
The blog that she wrote that went with that was amazing. I used to really enjoy reading that.
Yeah, I think she still is. She still does her blog. And this beautiful lady called Zoe Brown did a podcast on her last week, and it's on the link. I'll put it on my Serendipity Experience Facebook page, and I'll put it. There's a link to it on the YouTube channel as well. She's sort of done a story of Neve's story. It's gorgeous, really good. So Neve's got this passion to kind of get people to get walking and walk their way well. That's what she calls her sort of. She's got just designed a new logo. Walk your way well.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
She sent it to me. I did say we'd have to get her on.
Yeah,
we must get her in for a chat all about it.
So she'll come on soon. But what we decided was in the UK and in some countries, May is known as like the walking month, National Walking Month. And in the UK, I think there's a Walk in the Woods month, they call it. And there's so many international and national days, aren't there, of every day it's someday somewhere. So we just sort of came together and we were like, right, now that we're all kind of opening up a bit, does anybody want to come and join us for a walk? Free, no cost, no charge. And I do something in my business, which I call them talks and walks. The emphasis being that I want invite people along in small groups or one-to-ones or whatever it is to understand how their mind works, understand how the psychological system works, and then we go for a walk or we have a walk during that. But so the crux for me is that conversation, and then I love walking too, so that's super. And Neve really, really wants to just get people walking because she has a lovely story how she decided to give up alcohol and walked herself sober. That's how she sort of talks it. So it's walk your way well, walk your way happy, walk your way whatever. And walking doesn't have to be everybody's way, and that's what we both understand. But just find your way.
Excellent.
Find your way.
Well, listen, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to play a Bob Marley song.
Oh, I'd
for
love
you.
that. Thank you.
Three Little Birds. We'll have that one in the mo.
Gorgeous.
And we'll talk about your walks again in just a mo.
Don't worry,
Bob Marley. So 40 years, was it?
40 years.
Yesterday.
And do you know what I thought was really incredible for me was to think that he was only 36 when he passed away.
I know.
Right.
I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't seem possible. I mean, I could have sworn he was much older, but then I was much younger.
And it's so I think, and to think in 36 years to become such an icon, to become so, well, I don't know. Well, it's just globally known, right? And so we can do a lot in a short time, and we think of the most amazing. Something's really beautiful that my aunt used to say. They didn't think they could have children, actually, so they only had one daughter. They had her very late, and then when she passed away, my aunt said, "You know what? If someone had said, yeah, you could have her, but you can only have her for 21 years," she said, "I would have said
God.
yes."
Yeah.
And I was like, it's such a. It was just how it was, and in that 21 years was amazing. And so 36 years, I think when I read that last night again, I was like, wow, I don't know that I remembered that he was only 36 years, because you see a lot about Ziggy Marley, his son, and so he was a young dad.
Yeah.
Bob Marley, and just incredible. And there's just something. So thank you for playing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, nice to hear again.
Yes. So, the message is really, as I'm just sat there now listening to that, Dougie, that there's been messages, in our music, in our songs, in the words, for eons, right? The little sayings that people used to say, that your grandmother used to say.
Oh, good.
The things that we're talking about things now.
I'll give you something to cry about.
But we talk about things now like as if we're all waking up to something, and then we go, oh, you know what? My granddad used to say that.
Yeah.
Or the quotes and the things that we might have, written on our walls.
What was that? I'll make you laugh on the other side of your face. What does that mean?
I make you laugh on the other side of your face. What does that mean? I don't know.
Do you remember that one?
We don't talk like that now, do we?
We
we don't talk like that now. We're good listening parents. We parent from the heart, and we, it's the times they are a changing, as Bob Dylan said, and I think that is so true. But one of the words there that in that Bob Marley Three Little Birds is, singing "Don't Worry About a Thing," because every little thing is going to be all right. So that rings true to me. But when, like we were talking about before, if somebody is in the midst of their of their, I don't know, their own personal heavy thinking, overthinking, overwhelm, their thinking looks really real and true in that moment. And it just, it might not look like every little thing is going to be all right.
It is, yeah. I mean, if you're right in the middle of something, it's difficult to get your head around it, isn't it? But there's nothing. A lot of it is out of our control anyway, and so therefore, let's just go with it.
There's something that you're saying that now has just sprung into my mind. The Serenity Prayer. Don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I wonder if I can recite it now. But it's one they use in. They use it in lots of different sort of areas, but sort of Alcoholics Anonymous and the fellowships use it, and it's let's see if I can remember it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And
yes, quite famous.
Yeah, it wraps it up really well, right? Which is that kind of, can I do something about this? Is this, like you just said, is this within something that I can change practically? And do I even need to? Because, and the courage to do something if once I see that there is another option or perspective or whatever that there is, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's the big one, isn't it? Pointing us back to our own wisdom. So that's what I like to do. I like to point people back to their own wisdom. But the thing is, if somebody's really up in their head, got lots going on inside their own mind, and our minds are such our mind is so amazing, but it can take us down all sorts of dark corridors and rabbit holes, and and the most beautiful thing I think about our psychological system is that it brings our thinking alive to look real and feel real, and it does a really good job at that. But it doesn't just bring all the peaceful, nice, happy thoughts alive. It brings whatever's put in the cup, And there's we used that the other day. We were doing with good friend of mine, Claire, we were delivering the iHeart program to some 12-year-olds, and we were talking about having a mug or having a cup. And it's like the mug or the cup or the glass, well, it can take any liquid or anything. You know, a cup of oats or a cup of rice or whatever you use. It's just serving a purpose, and it just holds whatever you put into it. And so we talked about that as a kind of metaphorically, like that's what our psychological system, it's working perfectly, and it will just bring alive whatever runs through it. And it doesn't choose only to have the good, happy, peaceful, wonderful, creative, optimistic. It just brings alive whatever's running through it. So for me, when we talk like that, and we keep it really simple when we talk to the kids, and it's kind of like, well, if the kids actually really get it much quicker, because they're like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And so it's a little bit like, right, we're bringing alive whatever happens to be, whether we talk about within our consciousness or within our thinking system in that moment. We're flavouring our thoughts. We're flavouring them with love and all the expressions of love, kindness, compassion, empathy, gratitude, naturally. Or we're flavouring them with, things that are more of the kind of fear expression, with worry and with concern and with comparison and jealousy and greed and whatever that is that's coming, power, control, whatever that is is coming from a different kind of flavour. So, and it just brings it alive. It just does its job. It's just doing its job. So sometimes when people come to me, they're like, oh, my mind's broken. It's like, no, it's not. Your mind's not broken. I think there could just be a really big misunderstanding, And when people can start to hear that, if they can calm down to enough to hear that, beautiful things happen. Really beautiful things.
Cool. We're out of time for this hour.
Yeah,
Look at that.
I know.
Oh, my
it went really
goodness.
quickly. Can I talk about the walks? Let people know we're going tonight?
Yeah. Well, listen, do you want to hang around?
Yeah.
Stick around.
All right, then.
Well, I've got to do the Bay Radio Top 10 midweeks first.
How long's that one for?
Oh, that's only a little way. It's 3 songs.
Yeah.
But we can chat in between them
Yeah.
even.
All right, then. I'd
It
love
don't
to.
matter.
I'd love to.
Slow down, girl, let me love you. Darling, I care for you more than my own self. Darling, I'll share with you all goodness and wealth. Said we could have just one night, or we can have one whole life if we play it cool. Yeah. We can have that one thing, or we can have everything if our hearts are true. Girl, slow down. Girl, let me love you. Darling, slow down. Let me get to know you. Baby, I've been fantasizing, just looking in your eyes. You know I'm looking for more, and you're what I've been praying for. This kind of love don't come around like this. I'm not one to play around like this. Is so real, and I love how it feels. I love it when we slowly sway. I love it when we think the same thing. I love the way we move, the way we move. Yeah. We can have every night, yeah. We can have every day. Ooh, I want you to. I need you. Darling, slow down. Let me love you.
That's that Skip Marley song. Skip Marley and Her and Slow Down. Nice, isn't it?
Slow down. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's good.
That's all we have to do. Slow down the mind.
Exactly. Slow it all down.
My friend has written a book years ago called Slow Down to the Speed of Love and Slow Down to the Speed of Life. Joe Bailey.
Nice.
Nice, huh?
Like that. Like that.
Yeah. So slowing down, which sort of speed are you moving at these days? Dougie
I'm
Mack?
always quite slow. I'm probably too chilled for my own good, really.
So speed up to
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Is there a difference between slowing down and procrastination?
Yeah, there's just lazy.
Yeah, oh, I'll do it later. Yeah, I
But
can't.
if you were feeling lazy and you felt like you wanted to come and join some people that were feeling energized, you could come and join one of our walks with Neve and my good self.
Now, tell me more about these walks.
Okay, so it was just to really, I think, to start connecting with each other again, connect with nature, connect with ourselves. In my coaching work, I like to walk and talk. Like we talked about, Neve's got a passion for walking, and together we just thought, let's just hang out and invite anybody. Maybe there's people in our community that are feeling a little bit like they haven't seen enough people lately, or I know there's people that have moved here during the sort of lockdown, but before last year, they don't really know anybody. And so I think whenever I create something, it's all, you're always creating it for yourself also involved. And it's like, I would really like to know who's out there, who's new in town. It's lovely. So we've got old friends come in and hopefully any new friends who are going to join us. So just every Wednesday, I do walks and talks, or I call them talks and walks, in all throughout the year, but as part of a program. But these are free, no charge, just coming along, guided walks, and the opportunity to talk to myself, the loving life coach from the Serendipity Experience, and also to Neve, whether that's about any of her experiences or if she can help in any way, and just connect. So we meet at 5:30. And last week we did a walk, and that was lovely. We had about 10 people last week. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Tonight we are walking from Jesus Pobre, meeting at the church. We're going to visit the 1,000-year-old olive tree, and Neve will give us a little guided tour. It's quite a flat walk. So that's tonight, Jesus Pobre, Wednesday, 12th of May. Next Wednesday, that'll be the 19th, we're going to meet at Denia in the marina and do a walk to Las Rotas. And then Las Rotas?
I think it's Rota. I've seen it spelt two ways.
As I was
and
just
Rotes.
saying that, I just thought that I don't think that sounds right. You know where I mean.
I
The
know
other
exactly
side
where
of
you
the
mean,
Monco.
yeah.
Las Rotas.
If you're listening in the Canaries or South Costa Blanca, then it's worth the journey if you can make it.
Yes, up to Javier. We'd love to meet you. Javier and Denia. We'd love to meet you all. And then the last week, we're going to come back into Javier, and we're going to walk from the port up onto the Cab de San Antonio Lighthouse, and we'll walk across and back down into the port, and that happens to be a full moon night. We get a double whammy there. You get the walk, full moon.
Floydie loves that walk as well.
Good.
Up
Well,
to
maybe
the
you can
lighthouse.
join us for that, and then we might go for a bit of supper then or something, because now we're allowed to stay out really late.
Yeah.
So
what is the latest on that? It's midnight.
12
isn't it?
o'clock now, midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be nice.
There was a time when we'd be just going out then.
It's been a long time ago for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, a long time ago. Actually, it's so funny, isn't it? That's probably the one part about all the restrictions that I've quite enjoyed. It's very quiet, no noise, feel very safe. That there's no one out on the streets, But I understand that's not everybody, like that. Their freedom feels like it's been taken away, that they can't stay out till whatever time they want to. But yeah, personally for me, kind of making me be home and tucked up and all that stuff has been, that part of it has been a good thing for me personally. Yeah. So that's our walks and talks. Tonight, Jesus Pobre. Next Wednesday will be Denia, the marina, and the following week back into Javier. And
what time does this kick off again?
5:30 we meet, and then we have a little talk, little introductions, who's there, and we sort of encourage people as they walk to then and people can follow their common sense with what's going on at the moment, but also just to maybe take some time to walk in silence for a little moment, if that's something we never do, and to really just recognise sometimes we've done a walk lots of times, but have we really been present when we've been walking? But also to, if you can have a little chat with somebody, maybe chat to somebody you have never met before, chat to somebody else who's come along, not your best mate that you talk with, or that whole thing of just connecting, listening, deep listening, conscious listening, maybe hearing somebody else's story, all of that sort of stuff. So it's nothing heavy, it's light, but it's still bringing that awareness to we're better together, and as a community, it just feels like, or maybe this is just me personally, like we kind of need each other right now. And together we're sort of a big team, and so that's the joy of connection. Yeah, the joy of connection. So come, whether you're on your own, whether you come with a friend. Neve and I will be there. So
and you're taking your dog.
And I take my little doggie, so Cookie, she's there, she's 13, because my other doggie, Tommy, passed away. Oh. Yeah, this year. And so it was actually a beautiful experience, Dougie. He was 14 and he died naturally at home, which is a gift for me. Yeah, and so I'm in a new relationship now. I'm in a new relationship with my dog Cookie, because it's never just been her and I, ever.
Yeah.
Because she was, she came to us when Tommy was a year older than her, the Spanish water dog, and Charlie and Alice, my children, they were living at home then. So, then slowly Charlie moved away to the UK, Alice moved to Barcelona, and then Tommy's passed, and it's like, just Cookie and I. It's like, this is, like, we've never had this.
Yeah.
So that's, it's been, that we're making the most of that, and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, good luck with the walks.
Thank you.
And everything, in fact.
Well, anybody
The loving life coach.
Yeah,
good to have you back.
It's good, and it's always good to be in here. And I think we recorded those lovely sessions we did in 2020. They're all on my YouTube channel, The Serendipity Experience. So if people want to hear a little bit more about what I do, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube, or they can just contact me, find me on Facebook, or just on the web.
On the web.
Yeah.
On the internets.
Yeah. So thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk with you and hang
Pleasure.
out for
Good to see
Wellness
you
Wednesday.
again.
Yeah, you too,
You're
Dougie.
looking very, very well.
Oh, you're very kind.
Bless you. And hopefully we can speak again soon.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah.